So this is a tutorial on housing fund levy. I want to tidy up the mess. Let's try and get it as clear as possible. So the first thing is, what is the housing levy being calculated on? KRA made this announcement on the 15th, and it defined the gross monthly salary as fixed elements, which is basically basic salary and anything else that is regular. It defines certain examples there, and it excludes anything that's non-cash, like housing and any other non-cash benefits, and it also excludes anything that's not paid regularly, so anything that's variable. So that's what I've done in my system. So let's come now to, so this is the KRA P10, the usual one you use for the return. Then we go to the housing levy sheet, which is M, affordable housing. So it has these columns A, B, C, D, and E. E is grayed out, but you still import that. So it's the ID, the name, the PIN, the gross, and the basic. So I've also changed things so that it's picking these figures. Now let's go to, so now we are on Payslip Maker. I've opened Payslips and I've got an example. I have this Jane Green. I have only 2 employees here. So Jane has basic, of course, and then she has another fixed element which should be included in the regular earnings, which should be the housing fund figure. And she has overtime, which is not regular, so it's variable, so should be excluded. And John Brown has his basic, and he has a commission, which is also variable, so only this figure should be used. And for Jane, these 2 items should be used. So if we go to the housing levy now, housing fund levy, and open it, you'll see gross, what the KRA is calling gross, as we call it fixed pay. That's FP. So you have gross is 100. This is Jane. She has, her basic is 85, and there's an extra element. This is the extra element which goes into her fixed pay. The 1.5 is being calculated on this. So you can see, I've used a simple figure so you can see the calculation is correct. So it's 1500. And for John Brown, because he only has 1 fixed item, which is basic, that's the only figure you see. His basic is equal to his fixed pay, and that is what is used for this. So that's how you get those figures. So I've just put a clarification here. Gross, which in brackets is fixed pay, is what is being used to calculate these figures. So for the return, we now export this. I have a tutorial here. We export it here. It will open. As usual, you prepare it. You delete this. Save as. Let's go back there. Let's just leave it as copy, but change this to comma delimited. So it's now saved as a CSV. So now I can come to my sheet, housing levy, and I can import my copy. And it imports my 2 entries. So all it has imported is up to here, gross and basic. But it has done the calculation on gross. You can see this one, who has a basic of 85, has not affected the calculation. So then you complete your return after that. So that's what you need to bear in mind. For fixing the July, I've done something here, and I'm going to do a video to explain that. But for now, the correct way to do that is the way I've shown you. So even when you go to August, you should run it so that you have the correct figures. The correct figures to collect back from your employees after the correction. And then for August, you just do it using the normal way.